Morning, and today we are going to be talking about my TradingView settings. I just decided I kind of wanted to make a video, and I'll probably upload this on Saturday. Just, kind of talking about something, and this is the best idea that I had. So, as you probably know, I mainly trade ES in the NASDAQ. And my settings, my backgrounds and stuff do look a little different. So, first thing that we're going to talk about is my candlesticks. Obviously, they are not green and red. This one is this color. I will put it down in the description just so you guys can copy it. But it's just like a light gray with a little bit of blue. And then this one is just a darker gray with a little bit of blue. I genuinely like these a lot more than red and green because I feel like red and green can just kind of mess with your psychology, and these are just super monochrome, so they just don't you don't really notice them. You just know that one goes up and one goes down. It's not, you don't associate that with like loss or gain, which I think is very good. But yeah, if we go to scales and lines, that's just talking about these scales, and then this line, I just have my symbol at the complete blackest that it can be, just so it's more prominent. That's about all for that. And then if we look at canvas, I just have it as solid color, and then it is this color right here. Again, I'll just put that in the description. I like this just because it's not white and it's not too dark either. I don't know why it's like a light yellow, but that's what I like. So I guess it's up to you what you want to choose, but this is what I am doing. So for my crosshair, just being that you can't have it be like white or something just because of the background, because like if you change it to white, you can't, I mean you kind of can, but like it ain't nice to see. But yeah, this is what I have mine set at, just kind of like right in the middle. But yeah, all the other settings don't even need to mess with them. But yeah, also this this setting, this auto fit, please get rid of that. It's absolutely horrendous. It'll sometimes just automatically be on, but you want to just be able to move it around. I don't know why you'd ever want that, but it's like automatically set on it. So yeah, then we're gonna talk about my toolbar. I have a long position, short position right in the front, and then a vertical line, and I have the settings for the vertical line as a little tick mark thing, whatever the heck you want to call it, dotted line, and that's mainly, I'll just use that to go and mark it open, and that's what I use that for. For a trend line, I use that mainly for marking SMTs, and that's kind of about it. I'm not a trend line trader. I don't get that, bro. But yeah, and then horizontal rays. I primarily use red and then orange, and red will be the hourly liquidity that we're looking for either a sweep or you want it to get swept, and that's about what I use horizontal rays for. Okay, so there is, I believe there's a, yeah, so maybe not. Never mind, sorry, I'm going off, I'm crazy. And then we got the GAN box. So I use, obviously, I use it for equilibrium, and then I will also use it in confluence with my take profits, because I like to take profits at that 2/3 level. So I will go in, mark it out, and then just like use a horizontal ray and turn it blue, and then that will be my stop loss to break even and 2/3 take profit level. And that's kind of what I use that 2/3 for. Oops, here I'll show the settings of the GAN box, because it's kind of confusing to get this thing. So like the background's nothing, but you gotta just turn the background to 0 and then put all of these to 0 and 1, 0 and 1, and then you got to get rid of the top and bottom labels, I believe, and then it doesn't look as goofy. But yeah, this is kind of how I just have that. And then for my rectangles, whatever the heck you want to call it, I guess it'd be a rectangle. That's primarily for fair value gap marking. Don't do that a whole lot. I mean, it's just kind of like an unconscious thing now, you know. I feel like I'm at the point where I just, know where our fair value gap is. I don't need to mark it out. But yeah, mark the fair value gaps with your box, and then you get over and you get this like oval thing, and this is usually how I like to mark any like super chunked up low resistance liquidity. So like, I guess an example would be like something like this. We got all this low resistance liquidity. I'll just mark it out like that. I don't use it a whole ton. It's just kind of chilling there. Same with the text box. I don't like to use it that much, but I'll just like say there's an SMT here. I'll just mark it and just be like, oh yeah, hourly SMT. Something like that. That's the only time I've really ever used text box. It's just kind of so I remember stuff. But yeah, toolbar, that's about what I'm chilling with. And if we look at indicators, what I have is trading sessions on. That's just these boxes. I do believe that I'll show you the settings that I have because they are kind of goofy when you do put this on, I thought. I'm pretty sure London session technically does push into New York, but I like to have that break. So I did change that on here just to show more prominently where New York session starts. And then I obviously have volume. I do have the power of 3 5-minute candle on sometimes, rarely ever though. That's just only when I'm like in the 1-minute time frame and looking to see if the 5-minute candle's like in a retracement or something like that. But that's about all that I really ever use that for. So yeah, then we go to my watch list. It is just the S&P and NASDAQ. The reason why I just have those two there is so I can easily flip through them. And that's also what I'm going to get into is my commands that I usually use. The one biggest one that you gotta know is Command R. That just refreshes super easily, and I like that. Usually you don't have to press that. Usually you just press Command R and then it just resets. And then also when you're using things like horizontal raise or stuff like that, and you're not the type of person that always likes to have your magnet on, I didn't know this, but you can just press Command and then it'll automatically magnet to the highs and lows. And I think that's just super easy to use, and I've been using it a lot more, and I never used to use the magnet. And then also the reason why I only have 2 in my watch list is so I can just press spacebar and switch through them super easily. It just makes it super easy for me to see where SMT divergences are, as like you can just see both of the charts pretty much at the same time. So yeah, that is that. And then if you guys want, these are my Forex Factory settings, filters. I only have red and orange folder news up here, and then I only do USD just because of NASDAQ and ES is only a US freaking index. But yeah, that's that. Video's low-key kind of a mess, but if you like my settings, now you get to see what they are. I like them, and I feel like they've definitely helped improve my psychology. But yeah, if you made it till this time, I very much appreciate you, and I hope you have a blessed day.